Hello and welcome to another episode of Naughty Nerds. I'm still not very well. At the time of recording, I'm taking antibiotics. I have a chest infection and sinusitis. But you know what, my dearest listener, dearest watcher, I'm still here. And I don't know why. I did a typical manly thing, even though I'm not very manly at all, of basically just saying I'll get on with it. And now here we are, a doctor's appointment later with antibiotics. So we're all joyous by taking antibiotics today. But in this week's episode, this week's video, I really wanted to talk to you all about why I love stalking my competition. Now, before you start thinking weird things about me, it is actually one of the best business things or business advice I would love to give you, other than my LinkedIn post the other day where I said, just don't be an arsehole. My biggest business advice, do not be an arsehole. But this one is probably my second biggest advice, is stalk your competitors. Now, there's two comparables to this. It's either stalking them in terms of what they're doing from a marketing point of view, but also actually making friends with them in a weird way. But hang on. So the latter of what I just said, making friends with them. As an example, the SEO community is completely tight-knit. Everybody knows each other. If you do a mistake, if you completely F something up, everybody knows, right? It's a very close-knit, tight-knit community. And we went to an SEO conference recently, which was absolutely fantastic. We met some amazing people, literally messiahs in the SEO world who are gods. And we learned so much from them. I drank a lot of wine and a lot of gin and tonic, but that's not the point. Well, the point is you can learn from other people that are doing your same thing. Now, the world is big enough to have enough clients to share around different people. You might specifically work with one industry or one niche, whereas some people will only work with all different types of businesses. So it's very easy to make friends with them and also just share things that's happening in the industry and also what's going on. Now, a prime example of this is on LinkedIn. Whenever there is an SEO update, whenever something happens in the SEO world, SEOs flock to Twitter, now X, as well as LinkedIn, and share their thoughts. Now, what's really interesting is you can learn a lot from this, whether you are a brand or an SEO manager. And networking, I have come to learn in the past couple of years, is actually quite good. And I don't mean your typical wearing a suit and ties, going to BNI, which I absolutely hate. I recorded an episode probably about a year ago about the reasons why I hate BNI so much. But this sort of traditional way of networking where you are building out your community on LinkedIn, you're working on your personal brand, and you are connecting with people that are in your industry in terms of what they're doing. Because let's say, for example, one of the days you get a client come to your door saying, this is what I want. And in the back of your head, you're like, I could do it, but I'm not the right specialist. But you know someone in your network that you can pass that business on to. I recorded another episode about why referrals are vital to our business and how they can really rocket and plummet your business. Plummet? No, not plummet, the opposite way. And that is exactly the reason why you have a stable network of other people that are in your industry, so you can help swap leads, you can sort of grow each other's business because, as I said earlier, the world is big enough for everybody to have clients. Now, I used to be very secretive with Nautilus and sort of what I did and who I spoke with. And I sort of found that I didn't want to make friends with people that were in my industry because I thought it was very weird and something I've been brought up with in terms of business-minded and sort of stereotypes that you shouldn't talk to your competitors because it's a really, really hoo-ha and hush. Don't do it, because I've passed on so much business. I've received so much business from fellow people that are digital marketing agency owners, that are SEO agencies, that are creative agencies, because there's always a way to work together in partnership, in tandem, and it just works phenomenally well. That's my first sort of segment of what I would advise. Make friends with your fellow business owners that are in your industry and learn from them, grow with them, and sort of help them out, because you never know, something might happen one day and you might be able to work together on a project, which is very exciting. And also, owning a business, being a manager of a business, a managing director, a CEO, a marketing manager can be a very lonely space if you don't have people around you that are doing the same thing. So sort of start that process. Just connect with people on LinkedIn. Don't do it in a spammy way because that bloody annoys me. But in a nice way, saying, I've seen your content, I really like it. This isn't a spammy message. This is something I love about you, or let's jump on a call. Second to that is about competition, and competition in a sneaky way. I love to see what my competitors are doing, whether that be with their Google ads, whether that be with their SEO, whether that be with their blogs, whether that be with their social media, whether that be with their pricing. We are all owning a business for a reason. to make money, to grow, and keeping an eye on what your competitors are doing is something that's really important. One of our biggest competitors within the social media space, it's really quite terrible actually. They own an agency and they do things that I wouldn't recommend doing and just not the ethics that I follow. And if they ever have a client that leaves or a client that is unhappy, the owner of that business will go onto their Google business profile, Trustpilot, and leave a negative review. Now, they didn't do it in a very clever way. They do it in a very obvious way that they are the owner of the social media agency that they just worked with. And if you're going to do that, at least don't do it in a real person's name. And at least don't do it in the name of the business owner that you've just worked with from an agency perspective. It's just very odd. Anyway, a load of journalists were picking up on sort of what was going on, which is really fascinating. And those journalists wrote stories in The Sun, the Daily Mail, about how this business owner, if anyone's disappointed with their service, she will go on to their Google profile, their Trustpilot, and leave a negative review. That is obviously something that you should not do. It's not very ethical at all. But it really made me laugh because I spot these things and see these things that are going on with our competitors. And it's really interesting. We had a discovery call the other week and someone said, "Oh, I spoke to so and so. And actually, I looked at I Googled them and I saw the article that was in the newspaper about them. And I've come to you now because your reviews are great. I can clearly see what you do with your podcast and your videos, etc." And it is something that really made me chuckle and really made me laugh because I was like, if I didn't look at my competitors and know what they were doing, I'd be like, huh, what's this lady going on about? But yeah, look at your competitors, look at what they're doing and see how you can level up and benefit from that. Don't sort of put yourself into a cocoon of this is my business and this is what I'm going to do. Don't. Take snippets of what they're doing well and embellish it, make it better, work on it. It's something that's going to help and progress your business and take it to that next level. I hope those two pieces of advice have been of use. I am going to relax, recuperate myself for next week's episode. If you did like this episode, you're listening on your favorite podcasting platform, head over to YouTube. We've got some fascinating videos on there of my wonderful face. Please leave a comment. Please engage. I'd love to hear from you. Stay awesome, stay safe, but most importantly, my dearest listener, dearest watcher, stay nerdy.